Hi there, welcome back to the second interview I'm doing for Profit First. And with me today, I've got Sandro and Heitor from Trio. So firstly, I just wanted to say a big hello to you, Sandro.
Hello.
Hi. So the first question I've got, as I do on all these interviews, is this. So perhaps, Sandro, you could explain to the people that are watching that don't know who you are, what you do and how you actually help people at Trio.
Sure, thanks, Philip. Predominantly our business is around property. We carry out three divisions within the property industry, which is property development, property maintenance, and property construction. It started off in property maintenance, and with the natural growth of things, we moved on to construction, and then we found that it was a viable avenue for us to explore the development side of property, as we are doing now. We help people in many ways, actually. When we came into this industry, we knew that it was an industry that it was the face of it was quite looked down upon, if I may say. So we really wanted to come into the industry and offer a transparent solution. We felt that transparency in our industry wasn't as strong as it should be. We felt that the service could have been better as well, especially on the property maintenance side. So we tended to implement a lot of technology to allow for these things to become more visible for our clients on a B2B level, and also for our B2C market. Clients that are just wanting their painting and their house painted, opposed to just your commercial clients. So we feel we do it very well. We're very organized. Just to give an idea, I'm not sure if you know, Philip, but we carry about 450 instructions, which is a lot of instructions with a 5-man operation. That's 5 vans out on the road, and that's a mixture of jobs and quotes. So technology has been the main driver for us to be able to not only organize ourselves, provide visibility to our clients, and equally the transparency, which I really do feel the industry needs, especially when you're allowing someone into your home. Great, we have reviews now, that's fantastic, but coming from a word of mouth and having that sort of accompanying engineer who's about to go into your home, that process is all transparent. The client gets a text message 5 minutes before our engineer goes into their home, when they're about to make way, when they've left. All of this creates a really good relationship with yourself and the client, and I think that goes a long way. And equally on the development side, we use this analogy, which is Steven Spielberg is the highest revenue producer in Hollywood, and Quentin Tarantino is not as high, but everyone knows when it's a Quentin Tarantino film, right? So we don't want to be the Steven Spielbergs of property development, but we want to be the Quentin Tarantino. We would like everyone to know when it's a Trio home, and we do that by implementing technology, eco-friendly. That eco is massive, as you know. Environmentals and stuff like that. So we build in modern methods of construction. So that's kind of our USP. And I think that's how we help people on the property side. Yeah.
Lovely. So obviously a lot has gone on in the last couple of years. So perhaps you could give us a quick rundown of what's happened to you and how you've managed to cope with the challenges that you've had, Sandro.
Yeah, sure. So we started in business around 2014, a bit before that, but we currently went live with what we have today in 2014. And we face challenges every 3 years. And I think anyone in business will understand that cycle. However, the last 3 years, going back to your question, has been an interesting one because we've had Brexit, we've had COVID. So a slight difference there. But funny enough, 2020 and 2021 has been our strongest years, not only on the development side, but also on the maintenance side as well. Where we were suffering and the challenges we faced were around staff. So staff, and even today, staff has been a massive problem in our industry. We just can't get people to work, not necessarily the office-based ones, but the engineers out on the road, the trades. A lot of them have gone back home with Brexit, and everyone, and the ones that sort of stayed behind. The way we see it is the ones that are good, they're employed, so they're not available to go into other companies. So that's been a massive challenge. From a financial perspective, with a lot of our trades leaving the country in the last 3 years, has definitely influenced and affected our projects from a timeline perspective. Deadlines started to be missed. Obviously, that has an impact on drawdowns from the bank. because obviously what you forecasted to have done that month is now like maybe 3 weeks behind because trades are not available. And then your everyday thing that happens, sick days with the current ones you have. So you're piling up problems that you never once have because of the economy and the way things are from a Brexit point of view. So it's been challenging, but in business, this is what we do. It's important that we don't go into. It's important for the audience and whoever's listening. When you're in business, you're not driving an oiled machine. You have to make it an oiled machine. The challenges are always going to come up. It's up to us, the risk takers, the ones who eventually made the decision to go into business and go out there into the world and try to make something of what we feel our value is. So it's up to us to, sail that boat across whatever sea comes our way. And I guess Brexit and COVID is just another storm that we had to face.
Absolutely. I always talk to business owners about, just because the environment's changed around us, why do our goals have to change? We just have to change our course, right? So I like your sailing analogy anyway. So in terms of 2020 and 21 being your biggest years yet, firstly, congratulations on that. It's great. Because not everyone in property can say the same. So that's great. But what do you think was instrumental in making those your biggest years, Sandro?
We were fortunate enough that our industry was allowed to work. The construction industry was still open. So that definitely played a big part in it. But even if it didn't, what we had, because we had the development division and a lot of it was internal work, we would have literally moved our engineers from the maintenance division to our development side to carry on the process of us working and people still getting paid. So we were quite lucky on that front. But I think what we found talking to our clients was that a lot of property maintenance companies had stopped. So, a lot of them went on furlough. The company took a little bit of a pause, but we wanted to carry on. I think we gained more territory. Some clients that we weren't using as much, we were on their panel, but we weren't using them as much. I think they started to use us because we were probably the only ones available for the area that they kind of needed the work to be done. So this didn't only happen to sole traders, but limited companies also furloughed quite a few, especially in the southwest London area where we're from, Clapham, Battersea. A lot of companies furloughed. So, light bulbs still need to be fixed, kitchens still need to be fitted, people still need to live, right? So the fact that we were still open for business had a massive impact on us gaining more territory, and that catapulted very quickly from quarter to quarter. The numbers were just spiraling up. So it worked in our favor. But I think that was the number one. Yeah, staying alive, wanting to work, going out there, still making it happen.
Good, absolutely. So would you say there's anything that you've learned about yourself in the time over the last sort of 3 years since these challenges have actually come about?
Yeah, no, that's a very good question because, I'm not one to say that I've learned everything, far from, but when you feel you've learned a concept of how something works or how you can gain more business, how you can improve recruitment, once you feel that you've learned a particular concept of how something can be achieved, there's always another level. And I guess what I'm referring to is when COVID happened and we felt some challenges come our way or coming close, we thought, wow, man, we were such on a great growth spark, and now this has come and we don't know if we're gonna hang in there. And I think I've just learned that consistency, wanting and discipline. I understand discipline on another level now. Consistency and discipline once meant something to me. Today, they mean something else. I've added another ingredient to discipline and consistency, which I didn't think, it was there. And that was because of the challenges we were faced in 3 years. We had to adapt very quickly. We had to have different conversations on the phone when individuals were saying we didn't want anyone in. We kind of did virtual calls with them to see if there was something that we can fix virtually. Was it a switch? Was it something that they forgot to turn on? You know, you start to think of all of these methods just because you want to stay present, you want to stay relevant, you want to stay and service your client base. You know, so we were working along with B2B clients that, you know, on a level that I didn't think it was possible, because it's a very reactive industry. We're in the property maintenance, the reactive property maintenance, not planned. And, you know, property managers were having a hard time because they just couldn't get their landlord's property fixed, and tenants were screaming, but they didn't want anyone in. And, you know, it was all the timings were wrong, because certain times they were in, certain times they were working from home. So we really had to work togetherness was huge, you know, to us, the clients. But yeah, I think my discipline definitely improved, and it validated the more consistent you are and you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, you're going to align yourself to the result you want. And that was, I just understood this at a different level.
Good, excellent. So what are your future plans for the business then, Sandro?
Property, so on the property development side, there's definitely acquiring more land. So at the moment, our biggest development is 9 units. We started off with 2 airspaces, 4-unit scheme, and then we moved on to a 7-unit airspace, and now we're building in Clapham Junction 9-unit scheme. So now we're looking, once you do 4 and you do 9, they're the same. You can do, if you do them successfully, you can pretty much do, you know, go up significantly. So the next step on the development side is 20 to 50 unit scheme, which we've already provisionally acquired a plot of land in Crystal Palace, which has gone into legals in the last 3 weeks. So we're hoping to close off that one. That's a very exciting one. It's at the top, the highest point in London from ground level in Crystal Palace, which will be a very iconic and exciting place to build on. That's on the development side, just grow our portfolio. And again, that Quantum Tarantino that I spoke to you about, you know, the type of build, the way we build, and obviously the eco behind that, that's sustainable. On the property maintenance side, we want to, because we've been in reactive maintenance for the last sort of coming 10 years, we want to, we're investing a lot in technology at the moment. And we want to do preventive maintenance. So I want to know that you're about to have a leak before you know that you're about to have a leak. And that comes up with sensors, technology, you know, that understand that your ceiling is humid, and if you don't get in, you're about to see the yellow streak on the ceiling. So that's what we're doing. We're going to invest a lot of technology into maintenance to make it more preventive rather than reactive. Because if I can get there first, I can save you £2,000 and you'd only pay 150. So that's the area that we want to try and get into. Yeah.
Great. I think if you'd have got into my parents' house with that technology about 3 weeks ago, you'd have saved them £27,000, because the brand new kitchen was destroyed basically by
wow.
So,
wow.
Really interesting. So okay, just to wrap this up then, Sandro, I appreciate you've probably got different types of customers, but if your ideal customer or someone you wanted to get in contact with is watching you right now speak, what would you like to say to them? And who do they look like firstly? Yeah, and how can you help them?
Yeah, sure. So our ideal client is property management companies and housing associations, councils. You know, how we can help and what do they look like? Building managers are great as well. Building managers who look after, you know, big buildings, and they're always suffering from leaks and all sorts within the communal space of the building they manage. So building managers, property management companies, housing associations, they're great. And I think they'll benefit from what we do, not only from a transparency point of view that I spoke to about earlier, but communication is very important. Now, we speak a lot about communication across everything, you know, relationships, family, workspace, business, but it really is. And it isn't something that is as strong in our industry, especially construction. But because of our mindset, we come from a property investment background before construction. So we understand the nature of how important it is, especially the level of detail. I'm not going to fix something unless you've approved it. What we found in our industry, and it still hasn't changed, is I'm going to do it, then I'll charge you. And there's a lot of that. So, you know, and we know as housing associations, councils, clients, landlords are on tight budgets. We know this. So our level of communication and transparency, I would say, you know, I'm a landlord myself, and I would employ myself, and that's always a good thing. And I'm not just saying that because it's my company. I'm saying that because I know there's tight budgets out there. So I think they'll if they, you know, give us the opportunity to experience us on one job, I think they'll understand what I'm talking about, because certain things have to be experienced. Otherwise, it's just me blabbering on. But yeah, transparency, and we're very competitive on price as well. So yeah.
Great, good stuff. Being a landlord myself, I think transparency is something I've valued some of the time, and I've not always got it, to be honest with you. So it's a really refreshing point you've made just there, Sandro. So finally, I suppose, if any of those people wanna reach out to speak to you, how best can they reach you, Sandro?
They can reach us on 0207 993 8978. That goes to our office. That's another thing I didn't mention. We actually have an office. We're not a man in a van. We have a base, which is in Southwest London, Battersea. Or they can email any instruction, any inquiry at maintenance@trio, TRIO, -thedifference.com. That's maintenance@trio-thedifference.com. All our emails get responded the same day. Every single email that comes in before 4 o'clock gets actioned on the same day, and they will be acknowledged. So you will definitely get an answer on the same day. Again, it goes back to that speed, reactive transparency that we've spoke about. So yeah, we'd love you guys to get in touch. Thank you.
Good, lovely. Well, I'll ask my assistant to drop your details in the box below, in the comments box. But for now, Sandro, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, and catch up soon.
You too, Philip. Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye.